I wouldn't have been able to go at all if we hadn't had those private donations. I am just so deeply grateful. I can't emphasize enough how important this is to my studies, in that I was able to go see, the architecture of Herod up close and personal. I got to touch it with my hands. It will make my thesis and my future career as a historian that much more significant. And I would not have been able to do that if I had not had access to private donations.
I'm pretty good about saving my money, but making a trip like this probably wouldn't have been something possible for me until I was more established, so I was very appreciative that I got this opportunity.
I had been studying things related to the Bible, the New Testament, the Old Testament for the last 10 years, and particularly like Qumran and Masada. And I had been reading about them and researching them and wrote papers on them and talked about them for so long. And actually being at those sites and seeing them come to life off the page was just revolutionary for me. And it made it real, and I think it just reignited the passion that was already there. Sometimes, it wanes a little bit over the years because you're just like, it's only in a book, it's history, it's far in the past, it's far removed from me. But you're there, and you have the atmosphere, and you're in with the people, and you're amongst the ruins that are thousands of years old. I mean, it's hard to describe even. There's just something about it, and I know for me it was life-changing in that aspect.
Well, to be a student of the antiquity in the United States in and of itself is very difficult because you are not anywhere near anything that's, more than however many hundred years old, especially if you're in, the Midwest. And to have the opportunity to really be able to touch and feel the 2,000-year-old ruins of the time period you're specializing in was something that was very powerful for me.
You really see Israel in a new light.
Yeah, I see the Jewish people in a whole new light. I never understood Judaism near as much until I got to Israel.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I mean, I learned more about the Jewish people in 10 days than I had in my entire life,
I thought it was funny when we saw the Pope fly over. When we were on our way back to the airport, we had adjusted our schedule to where we would be leaving on the day the Pope was arriving in Jerusalem, just to avoid any craziness. So as we were driving to the airport, we saw the Pope's helicopter fly over us on our right side, and then at the very same time on our left side we saw Benjamin Netanyahu and Shimon Peres's bulletproof cars coming this way. And so it was just kind of like a really quick moment where everyone was freaking out, and it was kind of funny, and it was just, it was surreal almost, so.
We were a part of history.
Yeah, just for a couple seconds.
Yeah.
I had been working over the last 2 years saving up money because I knew that this was my goal, was to be in Israel at some point in my life. And I got to the point where we were planning it and we were kind of figuring out the costs, and I was just like, I don't think I'll be able to make it. After 2 years of work, I wouldn't be able to make it. And then finding out we had donors come in and just freely give us this money, I mean, it made it possible for me, and I really would not have been able to go without the money. And it was a life-changing experience.